Welcome to The Real Deal, where God, His purposes, and His people are celebrated. I'm Rachelinouye, bringing you encouragement through real life, people, and their stories. It's The Real Deal. Hey, let's get started. Okay, we could give you coffee. Okay, so honestly, I don't think there's any coffee in your cup.
No, it's empty.
Do you want coffee in your cup?
It's a coffee conversation, so
Hey,
you have to have a coffee cup.
This is my coffee cup.
Cheers. It's from 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
That you still haven't finished.
Just keep rewarming it. Did you just notice you smile at me and go, to the people?
That's normal. I don't know anybody else that takes 2 days to finish a cup of coffee.
That's actually not bad. That's not, no, I mean, that cup of coffee. Okay, so, here's what I thought. By the way, thank you. Hang on, everybody, I gotta show you.
The audience can't see on the audio, but...
True.
We've done your makeup.
But the video can.
Yeah.
The people that are watching on YouTube can see that Grace did my makeup. So one of the things I thought, the reason I'd say that is, I think we should touch on beauty.
Okay. Sure. Shoot.
Why do you like to do makeup? How come you're so good at it? What do you remember about beauty? What do you think about beauty? All those kinds of things. We both talked about this the other day. Charm is deceitful. Beauty is fleeting. But a woman who fears the Lord
will be praised.
And there's different versions. Yours version says charm is deceptive, maybe? Mm-hmm. What would I say? Charm is deceitful. Mm-hmm. Beauty is fleeting. But the woman who fears the Lord will be praised. That's a proverb. I don't know the actual reference.
Yeah.
But I don't think beauty just means cosmetics.
Oh, certainly not. I think that's why the proverb's written the way that it is. Because outside beauty is deceptive and fleeting. But it's the inner fear of the Lord, or the inner strength, or the inner confidence that comes from within a woman that makes her actually beautiful or radiate beyond cosmetic.
Amen. Now, cosmetics help cover up some things.
Sure do. God bless them.
God bless them. Grace can't even get two feet from Ulta. But, okay, The point is that does help us, and it covers over blemishes, and it actually enhances things that we have. But yesterday or whatever it was, when we took this photo and you're like, oh my gosh, Mom, you look so pretty. Well, number one, thank you. That was nice.
You look beautiful.
But I also believe that one of the things I was thinking when we took the picture, this may seem funny, but like, I am having such a good time just driving around with my daughter. I just want to express love.
It's a joyful.
And maybe like that was a joyful photo.
Yeah, I believe it. I was actually having this conversation with a friend of mine who's overseas serving. Okay. We were talking about beauty because I'm in modeling, and so I have so many thoughts on this, so I'm going to try to keep them straight.
No, that's what I'm saying. Let's talk about it.
One, it's competitive in the modeling industry, sure, but that is not at all how I feel, ever. Okay. I never feel any sort of competition with keeping up with the other talent or being as pretty or as skinny. I don't care. If I get booked, I know that they booked me. So I have zero competition feeling with that. And
you do often do things where you're with multiple people. And so you guys have different looks. People have very different looks and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I know that there's a lot of competition in beauty within the industry that I'm in, but that's never really entered my mind. And I think that's a blessing, first of all, that I don't feel that pressure. But there is also not pressure, but a reality of you have to look presentable when you're in front of camera to advertise for something. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're selling or whatever it is that you're working on, you have to look good so that people want to have it or do it or take it or eat it or whatever it is. And so there's a lot that goes into that. But my point is that when she and I were talking about beauty, she was just talking about how she can feel the pressure to just make herself up every day. And I feel the complete opposite. I get so excited to make myself up every day because for me it's actually a way that I create.
It's an art.
It's totally
definitely an art for you.
It's like painting a canvas.
Yeah. And you said even doing my makeup is so different than doing your makeup. Yeah. Bone structure, shape of eyes, depth of my creases deeper, all those kinds of things.
I can do different things on your eyes and your face that I can't do on my own, and so it's fun. Like it's like a painter. It's a different canvas. And so for me it's more of an art form. And I've always loved it. I think I started loving it because of dance.
I was just going to ask you that because I don't have a memory of, I don't know when it started. I just know you were a young girl
I've
and you
always,
liked the palettes. You liked opening the cases. Even during the time of our estrangement where you were gone for years, I couldn't get rid of all these different kinds of things you had because they were important to you. Like, look, it was almost like you liked having them as much as
I
putting
did.
them
I
on.
liked the look of them just as
Yeah.
much as using them. But you're terrible. She kept them for like 15 years, people. I mean, chapsticks from when I was like 8 that had Hello Kitty on them. And then she asked me, these are still, like,
Good.
there's still a lot in it. Should I
No,
keep it?
throw it, pitch it. But I didn't keep that stuff because I thought you would wear it. I just
Well,
knew you'd be
still,
like, what
I
happened
was
to all
like,
my
why
stuff?
is this here? And she's like, starts using the chapstick. I'm like, you are going to break out in hives.
I put one on and then I ran into the bathroom and
It's
wiped
really
it off with
started
toilet
itching.
paper. It's like, there's a reason why you're not supposed to. Like, if you don't want a sty on your eye or if you don't want
For
whatever.
sure. But yeah, so I've always loved it. I started this at what, 5? So I've always had those little things. Even if they were, I mean, when I was a little girl and I wasn't wearing makeup, I would wear chapsticks and lip glosses or things like that.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of them. I mean, I had a lot of them because the packages are different, the colors are different. And it's still exactly how the cosmetic industry still is. I mean, like half the things sell because they're packaged in a gold container. It has nothing to do with the product. So some of it looks cool.
Some of the things are pretty. Some of the things,
Yeah.
it's like a painter. You open up the different colors. Even the Crayola crayon had all the different paint swatches. Things were next to each other. The rainbow looking thing. The presentable piece is good. Yeah, but you do. You like it for art. You like it for the result. I think you can make somebody's eye look more open. You can make their cheek look more lifted. And not that you're saying, I don't like the way you look. There's just an ability to shadow it or do whatever.
Or enhance it. What I do think is interesting is, and you'll see you've seen the trend in even the way that people are marketing their products. It's becoming more natural. Everything's becoming more natural.
Yep.
Not like organic granola kind of crunchy stuff,
Yep.
but like just even the product boxes, it might just be more like neutral, natural cardboard looking stuff
less
rather than
glitzy.
glossy and glittery. And
Yep.
everything's just a little bit more whatever was kind of the organic looking, even
tied
packaging.
with twine and
everything's
cardboard
more
and
natural
just
now.
black lettering on it. And well, there are always trends. That could be fashion, that could be home decor, that could be the cosmetic world. There are trends and things go one direction and then the pendulum swings and goes the other. Like years ago, you couldn't get a jam that looked organic. It would be like, what? Did your grandma make it? Well, yeah, it really was good. Now it's the opposite. It's got parchment paper and there's a ball jar with a regular lid and you know this doesn't have additives. So there's always a little bit of trends that fluctuate because someone's going to think this is new. No, this is old. It's just been redone again with the way that marketing goes and things like that too.
Yeah, but I do appreciate that in the beauty, just in general, like in beauty as a whole.
Yeah.
I do appreciate and I'm liking the trend of people are just trying to focus on their natural beauty. Like there's less makeup, there's less totally manufacturing your face to look different than how you would without makeup. Like that's the whole deceptive part.
Right.
When you cake yourself to make yourself look so different than you naturally look, like just in terms of like a relationship, you wake up next to the person after a shower and you're like, you look a lot different than the false eyelashes, big cat wings, big red lips, it's just different. And so I do appreciate in general the way that that's kind of shifted to where people are doing, like the new trend is like the no makeup look. So
right. You have makeup on, but
you just have it glowy and dewy and all these different things. And so I don't know. I've always liked that stuff. I've always followed the trends. I've always liked figuring out how I can do things, artistically. And
you would watch me as a little girl. You would just watch like a little boy would watch his dad shave. Similar, just like watching the process. Or
I love that stuff. And even if you look at like my Instagram feed, it's makeup tutorials and hair tutorials and stuff that I just like that stuff. I like getting different ideas.
There's nothing wrong with it. I just
But I do understand the trap that you can fall into, whether it's just even consumer, like just
gotta buy.
Yeah, buying all the new products, buying all the new whatever the new trendist, or falling into the trap of like, well, this will make you look skinnier. This will make you look more tan. This will make you whatever it is to kind of try to manufacture the look a little bit, so it's always just a little bit better than you're naturally supposed to look or be. And I think being somebody's best is never a bad thing, but I think faking it or manufacturing it to keep up with some sort of somebody else's
Yeah, similar to those filters you can use.
Don't like that.
Yeah,
Don't
you
like that.
can use a filter to where now if your face is unfiltered, you don't think that looks like your face. And it's like, no, your face
troubling.
always looks like your face.
That's troubling.
And that's the face other people will see no matter whether you filter it or not. And so if you can't, I'm not saying that to bring shame or condemnation. I'm just saying that it's so easy to flip like on an Instagram or a Facebook or whatever where you can choose different filters. What if you're so dependent on the filter, you're not really embracing the look that you have? I think that might be a little bit of a litmus test, like, you're not really accepting yourself for what you really just look like. But that's neither here nor there. I think it can be a trap for young people. It would be like,
huge trap.
I don't really want to go be with the people because I don't look the way I present myself on my feed. Well, then you got a problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and there's always two sides to the extreme, no matter what you're talking about. So I do also... You've gotten this a lot, so I think I probably get this from you in general, but people say like, oh, well, Rachel always looks so dressed up, or she always looks so cute, she always looks so put together. That's just, like, organically you. Like, yesterday, you're wearing Athleta, like, leggings that are maroon, but then you put it with a maroon shirt, a maroon vest, a maroon other vest.
Another sweater.
Like, but it's all monochromatic, one color. Like, you just like that style. Like, you like styling yourself. That's completely organically you. And so you're not being artificial whatsoever. So I think I kind of get that and have adopted that from you. But when I go places, typically they say, well, you just always look so cute, or you just always look so put together, or I've never seen you with your hair not done, or whatever it is. And I think there's two extremes. Like I said, I think there's one where if you feel like you can't leave the house without being ready, that's not good. But I also don't love when I go somewhere and nobody looks like they put on clothes. Or that they respected themselves or anybody else enough to like put on a pair of pants, not sweatpants and sweatshirts. And I don't love the trend of like everything being so baggy it looks like you're wearing your grandfather's clothes. I don't really love that. I think some things are cute or whatever, but I don't know. I
think the same exact behavior, going to the grocery store, not having any makeup on, having sweats on, that same exact behavior can have two different motives. Mm-hmm. One, I'm so comfortable with myself, this is me. Mm-hmm. And the other is, lazy. I don't feel worthy of even dressing up, and this is, you know what I mean? And so we have to almost ask ourselves, like if I go out all put together, is that because I'm presenting my best self to whomever is across the counter for me and anybody that I may meet? Or is it like, oh my gosh, I can't leave the house until I do X, Y, Z? I think that's maybe what one needs to ask themselves is this like a trap that I'm now in, that these behaviors have to be played out to the nth degree? Or am I giving myself, I care who I am, and I like that I represent myself, and I represent my king, and let's go. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Would I be embarrassed if I saw somebody and I wasn't all put together? Probably not. It's still me.
Exactly.
I sure hope.
Exactly. I think there's just a level of comfortability. So like I know that in the past probably 3 years, I've dressed more casual than I used to, or I would. There's obviously also a stage of my life where I was wearing like a uniform every day, all day.
Or so more business functions.
Yeah, so I didn't really like dress myself or express myself through fashion because I was working every day. So that was also different. But just in general, I think I've been a little bit more casual than I probably would have been even in high school or college. I would always have like, something, hip boots and a scarf and a hat, or I just,
you were expressing yourself.
I don't know. So I definitely don't do that because I just think the style is kind of more casual nowadays. There's a point to what I'm saying, but I think that there's also
I'm sure people are wondering when I talk, is there a point to what she said?
But I think there's also a level where I don't want to flaunt anything as a woman, whether it's shape, size, height, weight, whatever. But I am a woman, and I
don't want to hide it.
Look like a woman. I don't want to look like a teenage boy, and so that's another motive thing that I think people need to check themselves with. And I think there can be a level of, well, I want to protect the people that I'm with, and I don't want to come across like I'm flaunting anything, or that I'm whatever.
Like being immodest.
Being immodest or being whatever, suggestive. Okay, and that's great. But if somebody's going to have an issue because you're beautiful or you're put together or you have a nice figure or whatever, they're going to have a problem
whether you're wearing a gunny
hide
sack
it or not.
Do you remember when you were young and I had to say to people, Grace, you're a beautiful young woman and it doesn't matter. We could dress you in a gunny sack. Yeah. By the way, a gunny sack is almost like a burlap bag that coffee comes in. Right. A gunny sack is an old term, probably a farm thing for that matter. It's almost like the towels that I dry things with, that kind of a sack. We could put you in that. It's still going to be like, wow, you look nice. Remember that time when Andrew was in a play and he was supposed to play like this nerdy kind of a techno person, cute. And we went to Goodwill try to find him a costume, and everything he came out of the thing, and we're like, cute. Well, that looks cute. Oh, we couldn't find anything that
we couldn't make him look bad.
We couldn't make him look bad. Yeah. Same with you. That's not your fault or anybody who is a pretty person, beauty-wise.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm just saying
it's on the person who's judging them.
I'm just saying I've been in the circles where I think people legitimately hide themselves because they're trying to protect other people. And it's like, that's just not on you. And you can't live your life all the time solely for other people and how they're going to view you. It's almost like that's internally going to come out, regardless of what you put on your body. Yes, no. I guess, I just keep reiterating. I guess I'm just saying I don't want it to come across like I don't like people dressing baggy. I'm saying like when something's authentic to who you are, walk in that. Whatever it is, whether it's your style or not your style or whatever. But you can tell, like I can tell your style in every single piece of clothing that's in your closet because it's just how you are. You can tell my style in every piece of clothing that's in my closet because it's always a little something different.
Yep,
there's a little
always
flair, or there's
something
a little
about the sleeves,
whatever
trim. Always.
Even if I'm wearing something more casual one day and then more dressy the other, like it's still just me, and it looks like me. It doesn't look like I came in and I wore something from my brother's closet, or I wore something that big old jeans, big baggy sweatshirt. That's just not me.
Yeah, I think that's the key. What if beauty comes across when you're really being authentically you? And no matter what you put on, you looked like you because you were representing yourself.
Yeah.
And the thing is that we do have to make these decisions because since before, since Genesis, we needed to be clothed.
Right.
So clothing is a situation and a thing too.
Right.
Well, I just wanted to ask you that. And I also feel like you're in an industry where people are thinking about it. And honestly, some of the modeling, people are getting chosen because they have a very unique or almost odd look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially high fashion or whatever that would be, Yeah.
We've talked about some of the runway shows where like, that is the weirdest thing ever.
Was that 13 going on 30? Who are these women? She was in the, because it was just...
Which is funny because that was actually before its time even.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's like
either really dark makeup or really weird haircuts or really funny outfits or,
But now it's like they literally look like they're walking the catwalk with like toilet paper rolls taped to them. Like that's actually what they're walking.
In fashion.
It's as weird as it can possibly be is what...
The weirder...
It's not even clothes. I wouldn't even.
It's really not clothing because there's probably not fabric. It's maybe. You know what? When your brother was in college, there was a whole thing they had to do fashion without fabric. It was a very fun show because like people used duct tape and people did other things, of the fire blankets, and you couldn't use fabric to make this fashion show. So therefore, it was pushing the creativity. But that has become like high fashion.
It's the weirdest thing.
Be draped in a bunch of scissors and walk out.
It's weird. Like it's like a giant plumbing pipe from like under our streets. In PVC pipe, and you just wear that
with the spaghetti strap holding on.
That would work. Like wear 9-inch platform heels, and you're good.
I went to see you in that high fashion thing. It was really fun. It was a really cool show. But there was a woman that showed up with flowers all over her, and apparently she's some big high influencer in the social media world. I talk to anybody, so I went up and I said, wow, that is really quite something. That's a floral dress, but not fabric floral dress. I said, how's that working out for you? She says, it is so uncomfortable on my back and my butt because there would have been the parts that, that were all sewn on to her.
Yeah.
But you can't choose to just not have it in the back or not have it on the small of your back.
2 little cheeks.
Bare cheeks where you're going to sit.
The peonies are going to come off so that you can sit.
So she was probably like, oh, because like I have gone before and had like a drawstring or part of the belt that ties in the back of a dress. And then I have to take it and undo it while I'm traveling to the destination because that knot.
It hurts.
It's like Princess and the Pea. I can feel the pea. I can't sleep on the mattresses. Anyway, I just remember asking her, and Dad's like, don't go. You don't have to. I'm like, I gotta know.
Yeah.
And she was the kind of person that you could approach.
Yeah.
Because she was so flamboyant that she seriously was not taking herself overly seriously.
Oh, for sure.
And if she did, I'm never going to see her again.
Yeah.
It's okay that I just said, how's that working out for you with the floral dress thing?
Yeah. That's actually so funny. People are probably like,
I didn't give my name,
and
then my daughter's in this.
Yeah.
And so later it's like, oh, that lady.
That's hilarious.
It was fun.
Yeah, I think that's another, you just said it without even trying to say it, but I think that's another point, is that just take yourself seriously enough in everything that you do to where you do it with pride and with confidence, but don't take yourself too seriously.
Right. It's not about you. It's
not about you.
No, I feel like there's an adolescent, maybe junior high syndrome that can come in. And I remember when I was going through that stage, this is silly to you, but it's a true thing. Every girl had a comb, and the comb had the teeth part here, and then it had this big loopy spot. So it was kind of not shaped like a beautician's comb, but had this loop, and you kept them in your back pocket, and that was a thing. It's just like trends, yo-yos were a thing, whatever. And it was like if your comb started to come up too much, it was going to maybe fall out. You thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe somebody saw that. No, they didn't. And if they did,
yeah, who cares?
They don't care, right? But that can be that overly self-absorbed, everybody sees me, I can't laugh too loud, I can't do this, I can't spill, I can't.
Yeah.
Nope. That's a very junior high mentality.
It is, and I don't know when that.
I
don't know when that gets shed as human. I want to say it's almost around like that 25 mark. When your prefrontal cortex is developed. I'm not saying you just are like obnoxious after that, but I remember. Not like the day I turned 25 and beyond, but I just remember things just didn't matter to me anymore. And like things weren't stressful for me to try to process. And I just didn't like
everybody
walk
sees you
in
do
somewhere and
X.
think, oh, they're totally watching. I just don't care. And if they are watching me, great. If they aren't watching me, great. Like I don't care. If you have adopted something because you watched me do it, awesome. Like I hope that I represent myself well. And typically I'm influencing people to do good things. And if you don't want to do anything that I say on my social media. Don't! Like, I don't care.
Right.
But there's so many people that I'm around that literally I can be in conversations with them, or I can be out in public and they're like, just so do you think that they saw that?
Yeah.
I'm like, why does that even cross your mind? And I think it's just that adolescent mentality of like caring so much about what other people think of you that I just don't have anymore, and thank goodness for it, to be honest.
It gets shed in another whole way in like each decade of one's life. It really does, and it's freeing. It should be always, and I would hope to pour into you guys and into kids, grandkids, students, teachers, whatever it is that if you have an influence over anyone, to let them know the thing that is the most attractive in a beauty way is for you to be who you are, because you're an original. And so when you are that, it is attractive, and people may be watching you because you are free enough to just be you and not be worried about it. And then somebody will kind of probably, like to a young girl, let's say, may diss her or may say something unkind, or I thought you whatever. And if you really like it enough for everybody,
who cares?
It's okay. It's really okay. And almost own it. Like, yeah, it's really bold or whatever. I don't know. I just feel like the most beautiful thing, if we're talking about beauty, is if beauty's trends happen, and if beauty trends can be contagious, then being a beautiful person can also be contagious. Like, wow, I just watched the way they treated that elderly person, or I just watched the way that this person entered a room and saw other people, or I just watched the way that somebody who wasn't all put together went and did something because they weren't ashamed to bring something, and they shouldn't have entered this more fancy place where everybody looked a certain way. Whatever it is, beauty could be contagious in those ways. Beautiful acts can be contagious. Beautiful
For sure.
things that somebody witnesses.
Yeah, and I think that's the stuff that sticks with you afterwards. You know, we always talk about the vibe and, you know, whatever people exude, your aura. It's true. You know, when you see somebody walk in the room and they immediately kind of had that chip on their shoulder, I'm so much better than everybody else. Like, they're not very approachable.
Yeah.
Nothing about them really sticks with you other than the fact that they're maybe not very approachable. But if you see somebody that is just exuding confidence and, you know, openness and welcoming approachability, like, that's something that kind of sticks with you. You're like, wow, they seemed so kind or so warm or so welcoming or whatever it is. And those are the things that I think make an impact. Not just because it was positive, because you certainly know the people that, like, go through their day and they have something negative happen. It's the only thing they think about for the rest of the day. So I think negative things stick with you probably more than they should. But the positive vibe, the positive aura, I think sticks with people even more. And then, like you said, it's almost contagious to where then the next time they're at the grocery store and they saw somebody that was kind, then they might be kind.
Sure.
You know, they kind of go,
that
what goes around
contagion
comes around. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you think about it, I wish I remembered exactly. It's probably one of the last Proverbs, because the Proverb 31 is where the mom is talking to the son about look for this type of a girl. And I think it might be in there where charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but the woman who fears the Lord should be praised. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, it says it's the woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Is it to the end?
31:30.
31:30. What does this version say?
Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. Sorry, I didn't actually click on the link. But the woman who fears the Lord is to be praised.
And that's Proverbs 31:30.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about it, the woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Mm. She fears the Lord.
Right.
She doesn't fear everybody else.
So true.
She doesn't fear what her husband would say, what her boss would say, what her girlfriends would say, sisters would say, what her boyfriend, whatever, peers.
Yep.
She's like, I fear the Lord. And we're good, and this is how he made me, and my nose is crooked, or I have 2 different sized eyes. Women, I have 2 different sized breasts, whatever, you know, like, and I fear the Lord, and he told me I was wonderfully made. His thoughts for me are always on me. They're more than the sands on the seashore. Like, those things, I think, translate as beauty, because when you get it, like, ta-da!
You can't shake it, no matter what you look like. Yeah, it's so true.
And that's beautiful to me, because there are characters, even in movies or whatever, where they might be kind of quirky or odd looking or whatever. But if I like that character, and if that character's development really inspires me, I start to think they're so pretty, or they're so cute, or he's so handsome. They might not even be handsome.
That's true.
It's really interesting to me. They morph in my mind based on...
Well, yeah, and the opposite. You see somebody that is just so handsome, and then you get to know them, or you have a conversation with them, and their ugly personality might come out, and you're like, ooh, wow, not so attractive.
Yeah, not so attractive.
Not so attractive.
Let's pause a second. If you are enjoying The Real Deal with Rachel in a Way, subscribe, rate, and review it. I appreciate your support. All right, back to The Real Deal.
I just want to free people to be who they are, and not to try to fit into somebody else's thought mold, fashion sense, beauty, whatever.
For sure.
But to be really seen by others because you see yourself. And if you try to cover yourself up or manufacture yourself, or I even think that even when you were growing up, there was a trend with girls to wear too much makeup. And that's a hiding. If you think about it, it could be an experimenting with trying to figure out how to put it all on. Yeah. I get that too. But it can be like, I've seen some girls that have gone, like, let's say they go on to the more wild side, but then they put more makeup on. I feel like that could be a signal, not for sure, of like, now they're trying to hide, like, uh-oh.
I mean, I never like really went through a huge phase like that, but I look back on pictures of myself and like,
friends did too, though.
Oh, that's way too much makeup. Like, I don't, and I think most of it was just
experimenting.
Yeah, just learning, but not as much as some others. Like, some others were straight up, I was an adult and totally knew how to do my makeup, but I was dark. Everything was just dark. Just too much, too dark, too much hiding, too much coverage, too much faking till I make it, I guess. Which is fascinating.
And I mean, this part could be edited out if you want, but you also felt like there was a time where you didn't take makeup off.
Yeah.
Right? That was more like to present yourself.
I think that's more beginning of relationship insecurity of I don't want them to see me without makeup.
Okay.
Which I think can happen with anybody in general. But I will say...
It's like a girl who can't chew in front of her date. That kind of, almost that way?
Probably. But just like... I don't mean this how it sounds, but like that morning after look, like I didn't want to not look nice in the morning. So I just wouldn't take my makeup off. And then I would shower in the morning, put my makeup back on. So like there was never any lapse.
Okay.
Which is really funny.
Yeah, and
because
I'm not trying to point that out. It's just an interesting thing because that's so not you now. It's almost like a phase that is so different.
But that's, I guess, that is also circumstantially maybe just that relationship. But I don't know. I think I was kind of like that in high school and college too. But now, whether it's now because it's post 25 or if it's now just because it's just now and who I'm with and whatever, but I do not care. Like that, my relationship now, like it was probably like the first week we hung out, like I didn't have any makeup on, not a stitch. Like I just didn't care.
Yeah.
So it's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But I will say...
Well, I feel bad because I will say, go tell me what you're going to say.
No, I was just going to say the whole thing about your Instagram filter. What's interesting about the Instagram filters is that if you look on the filters, some of them are like neutral and some of them are like beachy, so it kind of changes the colors. But some of them legitimately have a girl's face that's manufacturing onto your face. So it changes your structure.
Shape of your face. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm saying, but it's somebody else. Like, you're putting somebody else's lips or eyes or face shape over your face. Like, why? There's only one you. Like, why would you try to change to look almost like somebody else within your own face as a filter? Like, that to me is like troubling is my point, because it gives such a false representation of yourself to yourself as you look at that photo, and then everybody else doesn't even know what you actually look like.
Yeah. We're paying lots of money, and we're giving a lot of our time and attention away to having an original bag that we carry, an original pair of shoes. You're the original. Yeah, like, if I could say anything to a young girl, that's what I would say. You're the original. You already are carrying around an original. It's you.
One of one.
And one of one. And that's a big deal, because that's, cars can be made and it's specific to the person and everything they chose, and it costs more because it's not part of the manufacturer's assembly line. Yeah. Well, that's who you are. And people can be like, oh yeah, but I really like so-and-so's, red hair or whatever. Okay. But you are the original. And that's something I really think Grandpa instilled in us. And I feel like I like being me. I dye my hair. Who are we kidding? I dye my hair. My hair is not black. But what I mean is, like, I accept who you are and be that. That is very freeing. And, if there's any young gals listening to this, or moms, pass it on. Just, you're the original. Yeah, costs a lot to be you.
I think there's different things that you can emulate, like somebody else that you like.
Sure.
Like, I have different isms that come from you. I have different isms that come from Grandpa. I have different isms that come from most of my other friends. Because you're around people, so you start kind of adopting some of their things. For sure. But just as your character, as your moral, the only person that we should be trying to copy is Jesus.
Amen.
So
because we have him. Yeah. So we are him.
And he made us. And he made us to be us. Yeah. Not to be him. Jesus, but to be like him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the only natural, what's the word? Comparison that's actually good.
Yes.
Let's compare ourselves to Jesus, because Jesus is in us and made us to be who we are naturally, organically, ourselves. And when we circulate it back up to him, it actually works.
Amen.
Versus, like, if we try to compare to somebody else, like, it just doesn't fit.
Nope.
And then the clothes don't fit and the shoes don't fit, and like all these different fashion trends being like somebody else doesn't fit because it's not us.
Cinderella trying to put on the shoe.
Right.
But okay, so Jesus is in me. Jesus is in you. Jesus is in the believer. Jesus made everyone. He's trying to get out as you.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He's Jesus trying to get out as the Rachel version of him. Like, that's
and there can only be one Rachel version of him.
Yep. And so, like,
so I try
if his ocular is me and he's looking out at his world, he's going, oh, I am in her, and this is the world I'm living in. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And I can't do anything in the world over in Africa with another person that I can do with her right now because I am in her doing
That's so true.
her things.
So true.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know. Okay. Thank you.
I cut
I
you
feel
off,
bad
you cut
about
me off. We cut each other off.
it.
We do this all the
Welcome to
time.
Coffee Conversation.
We do this all the time.
We do. But I just don't want you to ever lose your train of thought because you will probably keep your train of thought, but I blurt because I won't. But thank you for saying that because I do remember what it was. I feel bad because I actually can go to the grocery store, go to the post office, maybe run an errand, maybe do an Instagram where I kind of look decent. Mm-hmm. But Dad comes home. By the time he comes home, I'm always back to it's the opposite of when you were in a relationship where you always look nice. It's like, wow, you're still in your robe.
The laugh
always
is always the robe.
Always in that
No
outfit.
makeup, fresh
you always
shower.
have that. You know, and sometimes I'll even say like, honey, I really looked cute today. But here it is.
Here's the
and
photographic
the cute thing
evidence.
is he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
He loves me, and it's really sweet. Mm-hmm. It is really sweet. I wish that there were times where he would pay attention to the, wow, you really did try.
Yeah.
But to be honest, he
think
just
he sees
doesn't see it.
I don't think he sees it. Which is so sweet because that's what we're talking about, right? That inner, the character, the aura, the whatever personality that you are is all he sees.
Yeah, the vibration of Jesus in
the
me.
charm is deceptive and the beauty is fleeting.
Yeah.
And it changes,
Yeah.
but he just, he loves you the same as 44 years ago.
I love him. He's so
He's
good.
the best.
But it is quite funny. Goodbye, bye. Kiss, kiss, pray for you. Thanks for doing what you do. I love you so much. Come back. Because depending on his schedule. But I don't typically.
Tonight he'll be home early enough and you'll see your cute makeover.
Hey, Grace did my makeup. No. And you know what? If a man can only love a woman if she's all made up, that's also on him too. So I'm not trying to diss men. I'm just saying he loves me because he loves me, and it's sweet.
It is true, and feeling the difference of that in a relationship is also very sweet, ladies.
I'm here to tell you, ladies.
I'm here to tell you if there's a man in your life that wants you to wear a certain thing, look a certain way, act a certain way, say certain things, wear your makeup and your hair a certain way, he maybe doesn't love you. Because you shouldn't have to do
control all those
you shouldn't
variables.
have to do a single one of those things for him to love you. And I think
you're worthy of love no matter what.
Yeah, and I think I felt the difference in that. I don't think my prior relationship was like circumstantial or conditional. It was more just like, I like when you look certain ways. Okay, cool. But it's not like I didn't feel loved when I wasn't. It was just more like, it was noticeable. I like when you look certain ways. Mm-hmm. And now it's almost like, but why are you putting on makeup? Like, I like how you look. Like, but why are you spending so much time on your hair? I love how your hair, like, I like when it's just natural or it's just down, or I can just mess it up and touch it because it's just you're just so cute. Yeah. That's a different love. Like, I feel like I'm just treasured regardless of what I put on my face or my body. That's a big difference.
Yeah. So extrapolate that a little further. That's how God feels about us no matter what.
Right.
Not when we've performed, not when we've put it all together, not when we've spruced up, just because of who we are. And we're using that in this way of thinking about beauty or fashion and or the way a man may respond to us. But that's really the truth. He doesn't need you to do any of the trappings before you're acceptable. You're already accepted, you're loved, chosen.
And even just the posture of our heart even coming into our time with the Father, I think that's also something that we need to check ourselves on, because there's just certain, not even just performance like you said, or all the do's and the checklists of the do's, but we can just want to come to him with all the good things that we've done, or all the good things that we're thinking about, or I'm praying for this person's on my list, this person's, I went to coffee with this person, blah blah blah, doing all the good things. And he's like, yeah, but your heart has been so comparison driven. Your heart has been so, you haven't done enough this week. Yeah. Your heart has been, you haven't booked enough jobs. Your heart, you might not make money this month. Like, your heart's not trusting, or your heart's not positioned in a posture where you know that I've got it. You're coming to me with all the things that you've got. I think that's a big thing that, like we talked about, Dad seeing you regardless of your robe and no makeup. God sees the posture of our heart before we even come to him with the things that we want done, or with the things that we've already done, or with the things that we're thankful for him doing. He sees through all of that. And so I think that's even a posture thing that I know I have to check for sure, because I know I can do really good things in my week, or really good things in my day, or I'll be really proud of meeting with so-and-so and getting coffee with so-and-so and going here and doing this and singing and performing and playing and
Does that give you extra credit, or do
No,
you get
like-
loved more? No, but you
But
have to check that.
I can finish a chock full packed good week of good things, and I feel rich and full.
Sure.
But I might not feel rich and full after a packed week because I know that the posture of my heart was not trusting God, and the posture of my heart was really anxious about what's going to come next, or like, how am I going to...
Fierce independence
Yeah,
was going on, and
totally.
I had to have it.
Totally. And I think that's even, in a lot of ways, more important. Whereas if I have a really quiet week where I just sit with him, or we talked about this in another podcast, but like the be still phase, like if I can do that, I feel almost more rich from all the times that I ping-ponged around town and met with all these people and told them how much joy I want to exude. It's like...
So good.
You gotta,
so true.
You gotta get filled in your own just individual walk with Jesus.
Amen.
Every day.
Because
that's a
you can
daily
only
thing.
give away what you contain, and you can only get what you contain by having the filling. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the outflow to happen.
Yeah. Right.
Actually, rain comes down, goes into the earth, comes back up as a cloud so that it can go back down again.
So
it's a
true.
cycle of being with him, being loved by him, being able to love other people and your own self, and be loved. Yeah. That's so good. That's so good. And honestly, maybe that's a whole different topic sometime for our coffee conversations, like our independence and our, here, God, you accept me, rather than the reverse of, you're so accepted, you're acceptable and accepted, you're loved, you're in the beloved, and there's nothing you're going to do that's going to make me not love you, or you better get on this list, because then I will afterwards. No.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Especially as I think I'm a fiercely independent person.
Yeah?
In
think?
general, I think I'm a fiercely independent person, but there's also certain circumstances in my life where I've come to the realization that I have been previously in my life and still sometimes have the tendencies or the habits to be codependent. And that's like been such an interesting realization.
I'm not okay unless we're okay. I'm not okay unless
Yeah,
we're okay.
that's
I'm not
not
okay
good.
unless we're okay.
That's not a good feeling.
Nope.
And it's such a destabilizing mindset. And so because I'm so fiercely independent, even in some of my codependency, I want to be I just need to fix it. I just need to make it right. I just need to do better. I just need to say the right, like it's like all on me to do everything and to make sure everything's happy and good and joyful. When in reality, it's like, if I'm focused in the right things first, I'll have more peace. So maybe I don't get so troubled in certain other circumstances, or get so rattled by other things, or...
For sure.
I don't know.
And a fierce independence, it's not that it's wrong, but it can be. It may be, and sometimes it is. So it can be, maybe, and sometimes it is a trauma response. Like, I had to take care of everything because there were times when I wasn't taking care of her. It could be way back to like a kid thing, or there was a time where I felt out of control, or something was happening to me where I didn't know what to do, or and so now I'm going to do. It can be a trauma response. It doesn't always have to be. I'm not saying that. But fierce independence is like taking care of number one, because I know what happens when I don't take care of number one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think in general that's a good thing. Like, I like that I can unload my car with groceries and not feel like, ugh, won't somebody help me? I'm not like that. And so I like being independent. But if I can't let somebody help me, that's different. And then also what I'm more talking about is the codependency just emotionally, like you said. I'm not good if this isn't good.
Yep.
I'm not good if that's not good. That's the part where it's like...
Because that then informs and defines you, when it really doesn't.
No.
It's really right over there.
Yeah.
It's not been
That's a
knit
separate
together,
issue.
tied.
I don't need to tie that to me.
I think God did that with us from an enmeshment, and almost like a, maybe not completely healthy, just based on the age that you were and the things that, we did together.
Yeah, there might
That
be codependency.
cutting and that amount of time helped Grace be Grace, Rachel be Rachel.
Yeah.
And we sure enjoy our time together now. And that's not...
No, but you can feel the difference.
Yeah.
You can definitely feel the difference. And in a relationship, I swapped you and my parents and my family
For
in that
another
relationship
individual.
for one person. And it's like, that just will never complete all the different relationships in your life. How is that even possible? It's not. And so I traded that potential codependency with us for complete codependency with somebody else. And that was just, I mean, a detriment to my own individual personality, you know, because it was like, I don't know who I am without this person. I don't know who to be without them telling me who to be. Like, that's just sickly.
Yeah.
And then when you realize that, it's almost like paralyzing, because where do you go from there? And I went through a year and a half or 2 years almost of like, what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? Where do I eat? What do I do? Where do I I had no idea.
Like there's no manual and there's no one telling me exactly
If I wasn't told what to do, I wouldn't do it. But on the flip side, I couldn't be home by myself because there was nobody telling me. I had to go somewhere else where somebody was going to tell me what to do. It was just the weirdest stage of life. I'm so glad I'm out of that now. But just weird, because I just didn't know how to think for myself.
I don't know what I'm hungry for. I don't know where to go. I don't know what I want to do next.
Which you would think is like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to do nothing. But I couldn't do nothing. You know, I couldn't just be by myself.
Space, too much space to think about it. You know what I mean?
It gave me way too much space to feel super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that uncomfortability. So I would just go out and I would go do something. I would go run errands. I would go to work on something. I would go be around people that I would be feeding off of them and their energy and their conversation and their whatever. Because I couldn't just be by myself.
And maybe you could be a version of you out there that was different than the version of you when it was quiet.
Yes.
Because that be still and know part probably would have crept in more.
Which I think we talked about last time we were here doing a podcast.
Okay.
But that was very, very strange, which is so interesting that somebody that's so fiercely independent can get that codependent. But it kind of just makes sense.
Mind-boggling, but it happens.
Yeah, and so now navigating a healthy relationship is like weird, because I'm so used to just unloading my groceries all the time without help, because I was so fiercely independent in a codependent relationship. So now I'm like learning how to be codependent in the good ways while being fiercely independent.
Do anything myself.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's like I kind of had to switch and strengthen opposite muscles of both sides of the spectrum of what I was learned, or the habits that I formed, and it's just been so interesting. It's like I can open the door for you. Oh, that's weird. Didn't think, like, I would never have anybody would ever open the door for me, but yet I couldn't go and get myself food because I wasn't told to. Like how do both coexist? But I don't know, fascinating.
Wow.
We got off topic.
No, we didn't get off topic. We got to some gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, being dependent on the inner voice that is the Holy Spirit and knowing is a important, like GPS. It's an important guide for us in anything. So that's good. Well, anything else on the whole topic?
I don't even know what the topic was.
Well, we kind of we started with beauty. We started with beauty. We started with artistry. Kind of authenticity and being authentically who we are.
Yeah.
I really am proud of the process that you've been going through.
Dude, it's been a process. I just called you dude.
Dude. You just called me dude.
Why did I say that? Dude, it's been a process, though. It really has. And it's still going. Like, even this... So, Mom and I got ready today at 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Because we were just chatting. But, like, it's been a process, even just with me getting a house and with me picking... Like, being independent and making decisions. I don't know if you've been able to tell, but I'm so excited to make the decisions, but I'm almost like... But what if I make the wrong one?
Yeah.
Like, I almost
is your hand going to get slapped?
Yeah.
No. But yeah,
it's like you can
don't want to make
if you
one.
don't like it, you switch it. Like there's even in this whole process, there's still a little bit of something that's like,
it's got to be
I don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I put the furniture there, that's where the furniture is going to go. It's like, great, you can move.
You could move it.
The furniture, like, I just have this weird thing that's even right now, today.
For it to be more of a wonderful space, or for you to get the validation of, that's good. Like that somebody would need to tell you. An outside source would need to tell you.
More of that. And I don't know who that outside... That's non-existent. It's just in my own head. Like, somebody is going to have to come in and validate this as a good choice or a good idea or a good whatever.
Okay. Current relationship and or parents or other people's opinion, whatever. If you got pushback, but you actually really liked it...
I wouldn't care.
Okay, that's an important thing for you to go,
yeah.
like, I really, because we talked about this with whether you do wainscoting or no wainscoting or colors or an accent wall.
Yeah.
Like, if you really want to, you could paint over something.
I think I'm good with that stuff, but I think there's a lot of these certain decisions that I'm not soft on, but I'm more like, but I could go so many different ways, and so I almost want somebody to be like, I think that's going to be better for you.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's wrong.
No,
I think
people do it all the
seek
time.
validation.
They go to a designer for things, whatever. But
yeah, so I think certain people like seek validation from friends and family, no matter what. I don't think that's a wrong thing for me to feel, but I just don't want to be paralyzed or be stunted in any sort of growth that I should be having in this stage of my life. That it's like, Grace, just do it.
Yeah, and if you got it wrong,
don't like it, do it again. You know.
Yeah. I don't know about wrong. Wrong's a weird word. You maybe didn't. I said that, but I want to retract what I said, because maybe you didn't get it wrong. Maybe you got it so right that it wasn't what you wanted, that you learned that's what I would need to do instead.
Yeah.
You can't really mess it up. You can't mess it up.
Yeah, or if there's certain things in my mind where I'm like, I love that, and maybe it's because of, who knows, because of an Instagram thing I saw, or because of somebody else's opinion, and so that's why I like it. And then I do it, and I'm like, no, that's not me. I really want to get to that point where it's like, no, that's me. Every single room of my house, it's like, that's Grace, that's Grace, that's Grace. Yes. And so I just want it to be that way.
The colors that I like, the things that reflect my personality, the things that I would choose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there definitely is, and I think it's just a house, so it's a big thing anyway, and there's multiple rooms, and that's a big thing anyway. But I think it's the level of the project. But I do think there's always been something in me that's like, I just want to be told that I, like the validation.
Mm-hmm. That I did a good job. That this is the right.
And that might be rooted real deep. Mm-hmm. And I don't know where that really comes from. Like, it could be the past 11 years, but it could be even further than that. I really don't know. Mm-hmm. And I would like, through this whole house process, I really am trying to get to the bottom of where that comes from. Because, like, to your point, if I like something, and I have always been like this, I will like it enough for the both of us.
Sure.
But if I'm not as, like, these are my favorite jeans, and I don't care if you don't like them, if I'm not that firm on it, I can almost be swayed.
Easily by anyone.
Because I want somebody to like my decision.
Yeah.
And I just don't know where that comes from. And I think you've seen it even today.
The vacillating. Okay, so Scripture says that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Because he's like, well, I could go this way, I could go that. And that's an instability.
I know.
Because it's two minds. It's double-minded. Well, I could go white cabinets. Oh, I could go really dark walnut. I could go... And that's the problem. The problem isn't that there aren't options out there. There will always be options out there. But that's why I say to people, like, once you choose the mate, once you choose the house, once you choose whatever, you're powerful to choose, and you're powerful to make a mistake and retract it and do something different with, your choices. But then be okay with it. Like, this is because otherwise that is the instability of that. And a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, because he's always second guessing that other choices.
Yeah. Okay. So in hearing you say that, I think I'm good there. I think once I've made my mind, I'm good. I'm good. But I think if I haven't made my mind up, it's hard for me to not want to seek somebody else to be like, no, you're totally thinking the
sure.
thing.
Rubber stamp it, please. Let me know.
Yeah, I kind of like test it, like, before I'm like, okay, yeah.
Well, I don't know that all of that and any level is wrong, because people seek to find, a designer's opinion, or the reason that scale was good for that piece of furniture, or whatever.
Or you try on clothes and you're like, is this too big? Or is this too small?
Yep.
Like, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But like I said, through the house process specifically, I'm really trying to make sure and get to the bottom of my own mind, my own psyche, my own internal...
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, am I good with my decisions if nobody's going to come in and say, good job?
Yeah.
Am I good with that?
That's a really good question.
And this has been like a big project where I'm like, am I good? Like, I'm kind of stressed about some of these things. I'm so excited. But there's sometimes where it's like, no, just do what you want. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Well, okay. So there's part of it. Just do what you want. But then what if I don't really know what I
want? And I think that's maybe what it is. This is so another topic. Because
these are probably two.
But this is so current for me that it's like so fresh, and I just keep thinking through these things. But that's like been conversations with, you, me, dad, relationship, whatever, that I'm like, stop telling me like, well, whatever you decide, which is so good because it's making me do it. But it's like, but I'm asking you, why are you telling me to decide? Well, because it's your decision. Well, yeah, I know it is, and I'm gonna make the decision, but I just almost want you to approve of the decision before I make the decision, before I can feel good about making, you know what I'm saying? It's just weird. I don't know what.
Well, maybe that is a deeper thing, like trusting God that, talk to me about this. Guide me in a different direction if this is not the way I should go.
Well, I think also maybe...
Or did I never really, I don't know. It's deeper, probably.
I think so. It just keeps coming up, and I'm like, Grace, what is going on with you?
When you were young, do you remember having to have it? Or did we ever, like, were we like, we're really okay, we're having a little family conference. Did we ever, like, disapprove of something, or does that come back to, like, when there was relational difficulties and we were, like, we didn't approve of everything, or...
I mean, that time for sure, but... No, I don't know. I don't think so. Like, I can't... First of all, like...
Like, I don't like...
Dad's gonna be editing this podcast. But, like, my father... First of all, my father is the best human on the planet.
I'm going to say that before I say it.
Like, I love him more than anybody in this world. And that's
know.
including my mom, because he's just different than my mom. My mom and I are best friends. But Dad, there's something about Dad with daughters. My dad's the best. But I don't... Like, Dad in general is not this... vocal processor, like
way to go,
kids,
great,
I just
whatever.
Love you so much, and I'm so proud of you all the time, and everything you do, I just want to like cheer you on.
Yeah,
he's cheering us on silently, silently. You know, like that's just how he is, and that's great. But so maybe there's a small. I'm just totally verbally processing right now. Maybe there's a small part where it's like, but is Dad like? But is he good? Is he proud of me? Like, does he like what I'm doing? Does he like my decisions? And there's probably something that's always been in me that like seeks his approval all the time. That's why when you were, where were you? You were somewhere, and then I was calling Dad about my house. Because I'm like, Dad, approve my... Can you come look at tile with me? Like, it's not your house. He's like, honey, baby, it's your... I'm like, I want you to be like, good thought. That's great.
Yeah.
Smart decision. He did once, and I was like, whew, I'm actually sweating thinking about it right now. Because I was so proud of myself, because he was talking about heating the bathrooms. And he's like, well, you might want to do... I'm like, I already costed it out to do heating elements. He's like, good job, baby. I'm like, yes. Like, it was like literally star on the calendar. Dad said he was proud of something I did. So there's probably part of that I've always searched for with specifically my dad. But I'm also an adult now, and so I can kind of... I'm like, Dad, but, like, do you like that? Or, like, I can actually verbally ask him for that more than I did as a kid. But then there's other relational things and things that just kind of go into that validation or approving of decisions or whatnot. But like I said, I'm just really trying to get down to that. What is that?
That seeks it, or is there something lacking that seeks it?
Yeah, and I think...
That's an important question for any of us to ask.
Yeah, and I think there's probably also part of this whole process that's... I might just be too close to some of these decisions, and just sort of have somebody that's like, this is totally an objective opinion. It's not my house. It's not my kitchen. But like, does this look good?
Yeah.
And some of those things, honestly, like the floors, were not my first pick. But now that I've chosen them, I'm like, that was I was totally on the wrong track. Like, my thought process was just to do whatever, because I like how it looks. And yeah, I like how it looks, but I just didn't have the big picture of how it's going to look 5 years from now, of how it's going to maintain. Like, I just didn't have the right mindset. And so that's kind of another reason why I do talk to other people and seek other people's opinions, is because I sometimes think, like, I might be too close to this decision to actually see objectively what's going to be best.
Well, with the counsel of many, victory is sure. You know, Scripture says that. It's like, you don't have to have only one that's directing traffic and manipulating you. That's not it. But there is something about, with the counsel of many, then your way is set. So you do ask for certain things. I mean, not, you know, every decision one ever makes, but I don't have that exact verse down right. But it is that kind of thing where there's like a confidence that's built up when you have the counsel of many that helping, you know, speaking into your life, and that you've asked. And it's the people that you would trust, or the people that you would want to know their thoughts and opinions anyway. And then you kind of go, they don't all have to particularly agree, but you've heard enough from people that, you know, help you form that
consensus. Yeah, I think.
But also, like, one time we were like, which way should we put the slats in the bathroom? Up vertically or horizontally? And then there was, we sent that out to the family or whatever. And then because there was a split decision, when it came down to what was the measurement or whatever, we had to go one way or the other, and we had a split decision. It wasn't like, well, we took so-and-so's.
Ignored you. Person, yeah.
So that's the only thing about gaining everybody's opinion sometimes is then you might just totally go the opposite way on someone. And you're like, yep, I considered your opinion. I value your opinion. That's not where I landed.
Yeah. See, okay, so then I have other examples in my life where I was so thankful to not have everybody's opinion.
Sure.
Specifically, like, my wedding. I didn't have anybody. I didn't have anybody around to make any decisions with me. Yeah. So I was just on my own, doing whatever. And I think I made good decisions, but I'm saying, like, I think it was more a mindset then. There's nobody that's gonna help. I don't need anybody to help. I know kind of what I know what I want kind of thing. And so I literally just made decisions, and like, I just did it. And it was great. And everyone's like, how did you do this so quickly? Well, because I didn't have anybody else's opinions.
Yeah. I wasn't double-minded. I didn't have lots of voices in my head. I wasn't trying to please a bunch of people.
And that was kind of, I guess, that fierce independence coming out. And I think everybody that was in my life knew, like, she's got it. Like, she knows what she wants. Like, don't even try to give her your opinion. And I don't think that's like they didn't mean it in a bad way, but I think everybody did know that in general. But on the second round, the charm for a wedding, I will have other people you'll be with me. Like, everyone's going to be with me at this point, and I will want people's opinions, but I also still want to keep that. But if I like something, I'm going to like it.
I would agree, because that muscle is going to be only strengthened so much more.
Yeah.
And honestly, when someone lets you know why they're choosing what they're choosing, that's a big deal too.
That's true.
Like, a lot of things that were done with your brother when he was like, we're having this type of wedding in LA and it's going to be this many people because we have this thought of this and we don't want anybody to travel. When you knew why he chose what he chose.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense.
It's just like, everybody's on board. Makes so much sense. We know what your thought process is.
Yeah.
And we stand behind and support you. Mm-hmm. But I'm not saying you have to always explain yourself, but when you do explain yourself, people can understand why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so funny that I think of those things so differently. Like, I think of wedding planning so different than I think of my house. Mm. A wedding is one day, my house is like a long time.
Sure. Some of that is that. Yeah, but this is gonna last because I'm putting flooring throughout the whole place.
Probably true. It feels a little bit more.
It's not just
other than the person. It feels a little bit more weighted.
Yeah. Other than the person,
you kind of want to be sure there. Don't oscillate there, but no, I think it's just funny because, like, somebody's like, "Well, do you want a dance party afterwards?" I'd be like, No, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm a dancer, so, so, like, I just don't care. There's certain things where I just totally have my mind set up on all of these different things. Do you want a classic, everybody gives a speech? No.
Yep.
I just don't.
Yep.
Whereas I'm like, but Mom, does the backsplash go up towards the mirror or stay below the mirror? Like, I actually don't know.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it's just because I don't have that experience yet. Maybe once I have that experience, I'll be more, like, gung-ho about my decisions.
You just nailed it, because we are experiential beings, and I believe that God enjoys the experience. We think he wants us to get to the destination. And he's like, I just enjoyed the experience. I wanted to be with you. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be with each of those decisions. So that's, and you have experience in so many areas that you would be able to make business decisions, you'd be able to make restaurant decisions, you'd be able to make staffing decisions, because that is an experience that
that's true.
became second nature. This is just a new territory for you to,
that's probably very true.
To exercise that muscle. New area for you to exercise different type of decision-making skills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's taste and preferences versus, like, venue and time of day.
Sure.
Like, those are pretty, like, black and white, cut and dry things, where this is more like,
I think you have enough creativity in you, and I may too, that sometimes it's not that I can be troubled by I don't know what I like, but I know what I don't want. Mm-hmm. And that can help narrow it. Mm-hmm. So when you keep that in mind with decision makings, when you know what you don't want or what you don't want to do or what you don't like, that'll that'll really help guide you. That could be in picking out things for a home. That could be in any way. Where do you want to live? I think we can over generalize the will of God to like, Lord, should I be in the blue house or the yellow house? I think I heard Bill Johnson say this once. Do you like the blue or the yellow? Like, it's given us free will, and we're powerful to choose, and we can be like, if I don't choose this, it's going to be bad. He works all things together. Which ones do you prefer? Which ones you feel like there's a reason why you chose it? Mm-hmm. And sometimes those questions are asked to me, and I don't know. I don't know the answer. Would you rather live by the mountains or the ocean?
Both.
I don't know. Dad said, would you rather live on a yacht or a big house by a lake? I think I'm more house lake. Mm-hmm. I don't want to not know where I am all the time on the ocean. But my point is, you know oneself. And the more experiences we have, we know oneself. Mm-hmm. And then the longer we live, not that we're reinventing ourselves, but we have new experiences to fold into those decisions. And so the decisions continue to be made and are in some ways modified a little.
Yeah, adjusted. I agree. That's interesting. So interesting.
It is interesting.
Such a good topic.
It is. All right, I think we did it.
Yeah, I think
we're talking decisions. We're talking
independence,
trusting yourself with decisions, fierce independence versus codependent versus spirit dependent. It's like a
I think spirit dependent is, to go back to that, is so important. Like, God's not codependent on us. God is supreme,
secure in who he is,
and he reigns above all. So, like, regardless of whether we're feeling good that day, he's feeling good.
Yep.
Thank goodness.
Amen. He sits in the heavens and laughs, it says in Scripture. He's happy. He's a happy God.
Thank goodness. But his purpose for us is to be known and loved, and to know that he's the one that's knowing and loving.
Yeah.
And so I think there's part of him that's not dependent, but so intentional to have that be the way that we feel. And I think it is sparked by our dependence on him.
Sure. And almost delighted when we're that way.
Once we know we can be so richly loved, why wouldn't we want to go back to that? Or why wouldn't we want to have more time with him? Or why wouldn't we want to go back to the Word or go back to worship or whatever it is? And that, I think, for our relationship with him is sort of that codependence, like, yeah, that's what I made you for. Yeah, this brings me so much joy. Now you're
really humming on all cylinders. Yeah. This is how I made you. Yeah. You like vibrant colors, or you like muted things, or now you're expressing yourself.
Yeah, I think that dependent
and
relationship
I'm delighted
is so
when
good.
you do that.
Yeah, that's a good kind of.
Oh, way to go, baby girl! Yeah. I'm giving you approval.
So proud of you.
So proud of you. The way you get excited and you almost got warm when you thought about Dad. When you think about how God's like, yeah,
I know.
That's what I made you for. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's the most exhilarating thing to me. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be narrow. It could be with little things that we just can feel his pleasure with. Like, he made us like certain things and enjoy certain settings and gravitate towards certain people and all that. Mm-hmm. All right. Yay.
Good stuff.
I love talking to you.
Well, we do it quite often.
We should pretend to do podcasts sometimes, because we talk about anything anyway.
I know. But yeah, we sat down and we literally like, so
we have no idea what we're going to talk about.
Oh my God.
No, like, people who are listening and watching, we did not talk about. And I don't say that to be flippant. I'm just saying we could have a conversation about anything, and we hope you listen, because I think we come around with some.
We get there.
We get there. Let me pray for our audience.
Yeah.
God, thanks for our audience. Thank you for the people who are watching. Thank you for the people who listen. And God, we just want to bring encouragement that we don't have it all figured out, but we're figuring stuff out with you and with each other. And I praise you for the fact that you're a good God who guides our decisions. You're a good God who's given us a beautiful Savior to look on and to behold. And you've given us beauty everywhere, from mountains to colors of flowers to people. Mm-hmm. And you've given us creativity, and you've given us choice. Mm-hmm. So, Lord, I just pray for Grace, even as she makes decisions. I just continue to ask you to just guide her be beside her, whisper in her ear, speak loudly, whatever it is. And I thank you that no matter what she chooses in these big decisions, that you are with her and you are going to guide her. And I pray for me and for Grace, that and our audience as well, that you would give us that sense of peace that passes all understanding, and you'd also give us that sort of like hiccup or that check in our spirit that's no, don't do that, or whatever. And we would trust the voice of God, because you told us that my sheep hear my voice. I know them and they follow me. We just want to be good followers. And we thank you that you live inside us and you work through us, and we're grateful. So bless the audience, Lord, today. I just pray for every person that you just bless them, you'd watch over them, and that they would be the real deal, not trying to be anybody else other than who they authentically are. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
You've been listening to The Real Deal with me, Rachel Inouye, helping people celebrate their significance and the genius of God in them. Audio engineering by my husband, Michael Inouye. Thanks, babe. Theme music by Andrew Grace.